Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth to rule well. And I want to say Shalom to y'all Kanakwath out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled, You Can't Avoid the Judgment of the Lord. Once again, you can't avoid the judgment of the Lord. All right, and there's a lot of different crazy stuff going on now, man. All right, a lot of crazy stuff. A lot of judgment going out as per usual. We got we just did a video about judgment not too long ago, 2 days ago. You don't want smoke with the Lord. All right, talking about and then trusting in men, following up with that. Okay, now we got another one because this one is a little bit different. All right, so you can't avoid the judgment. You can't get out of it. All right, and we talked upon this a little bit, but we got some articles, and I haven't done a judgment report in quite some time. The last one, it's almost been a month now. The last one we did was 3 weeks ago. All right, all the way back in October. So we haven't really been getting those. But this is kind of almost like a judgment report, kind of like a single one. It's only dealing with a single topic. All right. So people are crazy, man. The spirits are all riled up. All right, I was just over on Elder Manat Tazakba's page, watching his live. All right, because he's live right now. And you got the Israelis and the whole protest going on. Everybody's crazy. Everyone's riled up, man. There's just a lot of riled up spirits in these end days, man. A lot of riled up spirits. A lot of just weird, weird energies going out. Just demons hopping on people, and you never know what's gonna happen. All right. Well, through the Bible we know that it's gonna get terrible, but you never know what's gonna pop off at any minute or any moment, man. All right. And you can't avoid the judgment of the Lord. Okay, so hey, and if the Lord's dealing with you, you're gonna be fine. But these people, these of the world, man, that aren't heeding the warnings, they're not listening, to the prophecy. All right, they're not watching the elders, the apostles, all right, that are sent, all right, through Yahweh Shemiah Shai, his spirit, all right, sending them out there to warn you. They're not listening to it. All right, they're not repenting. They're not turning back. They're still being the same people that they've always been. Hey, man, it's gonna get bad, man, and it's already bad, and it's gonna get worse. And you can't avoid the judgments of the Lord. Okay, so I'm gonna start up with Isaiah 43 and 13. All right, which reads, it says Isaiah 43 and 13. And some of these scriptures we've gotten before, and guess what? We're gonna continue to get them as they're always gonna be relevant. All right, so we're going to continue to get them. So some of these scriptures I try not to get too many repeat scriptures, from the lessons we've done in the last few days. I don't like, I try to get, more edification from different scriptures. But, such as the nature of these type of videos, some of the scriptures are going to be the same because they're just what you use for those topics. So Isaiah 43 and 13 reads, Yea, before the day was I am he, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. I will work, and who shall let it? Okay, it's a little bit different one than you're used to hearing. All right, we usually get Deuteronomy 32 and 39, which we're going to get as well. But Isaiah 43, 13, once again, all right. Yea, before the day was, I am he, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. I will work, and who shall let it? All right, but if you get Deuteronomy 32 and 39, it puts into more perspective. All right, what's going down here? It's Deuteronomy 32 and 39. It says, See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. All right, Yahweh works, solo. Yahweh Shemiah Shai. He's not calling on the powers of Buddha and all these other gods. How some of these weird religions, they have, like the Norse religions. They think there's like this God that does this and this God. No, there's a singular thing. All right, the Father. All right, and then the Son. All right, which is his Son, but the Father through the Son. Right. So he has his Son do certain things. All right. And hey, man, that's just how it is. But that's how it goes. It's, he's not working with any of these other powers. Okay, he's a God of judgment. All right, the Heavenly Father. Okay, and so you'd be wise to fear him, but a lot of people don't. So Deuteronomy 32 and 39 in its entirety says, "See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Okay, the Lord's doing all these things. And people try to separate, all these different situations to different, that's God, that's Satan that did that, or that's this. No, it's all the Most High. If someone died, the Most High did it. If someone's living, it's because the Most High did it. All right, it's not a separate entity that's going around doing the killing. All right. Now, and what are you talking about? What about these other people that? Well, they're all working for the Father. You got to realize, if someone comes up and stabs you in the gut and you bleed out and die, you say, well, that was another person. No, that it was still the Most High, because He put a spirit on that person. He commanded that person, all right, to go and do that. It's the same way if someone was to say, they launched a full-out attack, all right, on, say if there was I don't know, I'll just make up a made-up land, all right? There's a land called, green, all right? And there's the other land, red, all right? And red says, hey, the president of red says, hey, I want you to launch a full force attack on green, all right? And then you have all those little soldiers that go over to green, all right, and they attack it. Well, who commanded it? They're doing it, but who commanded it? The president of red, all right? And that's just an example, so you can, a base level example, so you can understand. So when all these things go down, who's commanding it? The Lord. The Lord's commanding it. He's sending out His troops out there, the angels, right? And He has, and He even has control over demons, man. All right, He has the left hand and the right hand side. So He's controlling these angels, and He has the angel of death that He can put out there. He can put a spirit of vengeance on someone to go and blow off shots into the crowd. All right, go and do this, go and that. It's very terrible judgments of the Lord, and it's all through the Lord. And that's one of these things that these people of the world just don't understand. They don't understand how the Lord could do something so terrible, all right, because they don't understand the Bible. They don't understand the Lord. They don't have an ounce of spirituality to them, all right? They think there's a separate entity. They think Satan's doing all the killing, and that, God somehow, oh, no, Satan, I didn't want you to do that. And, they try to make the Lord seem weak, all right, which is not the case. But that's because these people don't understand, all right? See, Deuteronomy 32 and 39, see now that I, even I, am He, there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal, neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So if you're wounded, it's because of the Lord. If you're healed, it's because of the Lord. If you're killed, it's because of the Lord. If you're alive, it's because of the Lord. It's all the will of the Lord. It's all the will of the Father, all right? That's how it goes. There's no way you can beat around the bush or dilly-dally or try to filibuster your way out of it, all right? This is the case. All right, this is the case, and nobody understands this. Nobody understands it. Okay, nobody understands it unless you're in this truth. And when I say nobody, I'm talking about these people in the world. All right, these Christians. All right, these atheists. These people of the world that are not in this truth. They're not gonna understand it. They're just not. So, and let's read the terrible thing. And you can't avoid the judgment of the Lord. Why are we talking about this? Well, this is from the Messenger News. Now, this article over here from KOAT. Coat Action News is where I originally got it. I originally found it on a post from Reddit, but this details what was actually said. But this will tell you about the story. So it says, an elderly woman begged police to save her from an armed caretaker. He allegedly killed her hours later, and it's not allegedly. He did kill her. I hate that fucking word, allegedly. He allegedly shot someone in the face. There's a video of them shooting someone in the face. It's not allegedly. He did it. He did it. Says, please don't leave me, June Ann Fannell told officers. He said an elderly woman confined to a hospital bed at her home in New Mexico begged police to save her from her armed caretaker husband hours before he allegedly killed her. I didn't know it was her husband. That's new news to me. It says on April 5th, Henry Cardona called emergency services requesting police to get his 82-year-old bedridden wife, Junelle Flannel, the hell out of here for her own safety. Cardona, 86, who was described as his wife as an uncontrollable hospice patient, identified himself as her longtime caretaker, according to 911 call obtained by Coat TV, which we'll get over here. It says, Fannel also spoke to dispatch and admitted she felt like she was in danger. She also confirmed there were firearms in the couple's Rio Rancho home, prompting police to respond. Officers entered the home and witnessed Fannel in bed, with Cardona standing by her side. Officers then engaged in a conversation with the suspect over guns. Body camera shows, according to the outlet. An officer described Cardona's gun owner status as nice per the report. All right, and we'll go ahead and read all those things You got a couple photos here, but we'll go ahead and read the whole call. Let's go ahead and play a little bit of this video.
There's been a law on the books that
we're using this video, you know, through fair use. We're allowed to use this legally, all right? We're not making money from it. We're just reporting on it. Let's see if we can get a little bit what's going on here.
I can't control her anymore. She's for patients.
File. Let's see.
She's a hospice patient, and she's getting uncontrollable. Trying to cry her on the bed, and I can't control her anymore. She's for her own safety. Get the hell out of here.
This is Henry Cardona calling 911 in April, talking about Junan Fannel, an 82-year-old woman he had been taking care of for several years.
Does she have any medical conditions? Anything we need to know about?
She's got a whole bunch of medical conditions. Get her the hell out of here.
Junan then gets on the phone.
Do you feel like you're in danger, ma'am?
Yeah.
Do you know if there's any weapons there in the home?
Yeah.
So Rio Rancho police officers and firefighters went to the home, and they find Junan in a hospital bed. They ask about guns.
You're a firearms guy.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
You're loaded. You're ready to go.
We don't need to see him. I see there's one probably right there in that case, and I see one over there. I like folks that have guns.
Okay.
Because I have guns too.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
While laying on what would end up being her deathbed, Junan begs for the police to stay.
We're going to get out of here.
Please don't.
I appreciate
Please
you.
don't, please.
Really do.
Don't want him to stay.
We can't, man. Yeah, we
Oh,
can't.
yeah.
Then this was said.
What did you say?
I said, you're fine until I kill you.
He's threatened to do that.
They then leave.
Get out of here. Go away.
4 hours later, police get this 911 call from a neighbor.
The neighbor man was screaming for help and told us to call the police. He says he's killed her.
When police get there, they find Henry Cardona covered in blood. According to court records, he had just shot and killed Junan. He blamed the police for not doing anything earlier.
You're not listening. You didn't help me at all.
Do you
earlier.
understand the rights
It's all
of
your
union?
fault. You guys caused this.
Should the police have done anything when that first call was made?
In this particular case, it's...
And remember that the police are not legally obligated to help you. That's an actual law. The police are not obligated to help you. Police are not obligated to help. It's true. See, Mises Institute, police have no duty to protect you. Federal court affirms. They don't have a, if you're getting stabbed, they legally do not have to intervene. They do not have to help you. Even this guy on chorus says if police have no duty to protect you, then what's the point? All right, and then to do what they do. All right, to be a bunch of fuckers, generally. All right, they're the modern what the fuck they call them? Roman they have a name for them. The Roman army, basically, the Roman police officers. All right, they're basically, they had a name, the Roman that's gonna bug the shit out of me. Start with an S. Roman police. They had a name for them. The vigils, not really. It was like they had they basically looked just like this. And that's what they are. They're just the modern version. All right, that's all they are. Just the modern version, because we're in Rome again. It's just some Roman guards. That's all they are. All right, and so they don't have any obligation to protect you, to help you. Nothing, man. Nothing at all. So, and you can't avoid the judgment of the Lord, man. Here she was saying, don't leave him, don't leave him. Don't leave me with him, don't leave me with him. And he even said right on camera, he said, you're fine until I kill you. And they just, hey, man, you don't want, going back to the lesson I made a while ago, you don't want the Lord's smoke. You can't avoid the judgment of the Lord either. You were begging and pleading, and guess what? The Lord made it to where those police officers said, no, you're fine, and then left, because you had to get judged. You had to get judged. You're 87 years old or something like that. It don't matter how old you are. It don't matter how young you are. It don't matter if you're male or female. All right, the Lord's not a respecter of persons. All right, He don't care if you're a woman. He don't care if you're a man. He don't care if you're little. He don't care if you're old. All right, He don't care if you're middle-aged. All right, or in your young 20s. He don't care how old you are or young you are. He's not a respecter of persons. We're gonna get those scriptures. So it don't matter. If you're old, you can get it. If you're young, you can get it. If you're a woman, you can get it. If you're a man, you can get it. It don't matter. All right, and we just got the scripture a while back ago, and I didn't want to get it again, but I have to. It says it is a fearful thing. This is Hebrews 10:31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, man. Look, and we got that with you don't want none of the, with that you don't want the Lord's smoke. You don't want smoke with the Lord, and that was dealing with that ex-GMS member, this and that. Look, it's a fearful thing, man. Look, the guy was saying on camera he was basically gonna do it, and they still left. Hey, if the judgment of the Lord is going out, it's gonna go out. All right, the Lord literally put a spirit on those men to leave and not help her, not get her out of that house. That's just how it goes, man. So you can't really be mad at the police in this situation. It is, and the police, they don't have any obligation to help you at all, really, legally. And then on top of that, if the Lord wants you to get judged, no police or military or whatever is going to help you out. You're going to get judged. That's why it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power. Okay, you can't, there's no one that can deliver you from it. So, Rio Rancho, New Mexico, it says a law has been in place for police department and law enforcement to remove firearms from anyone they think is an immediate threat to someone. However, Target 7 has learned one of New Mexico's largest countries, Sandoval County, has never used it. Some argue that 82-year-old Rio Rancho woman Joanne Fanel would still be alive if it was used. No, she wouldn't be alive because the Lord did not want her alive. She's 82 years old. That's 82 years of wickedness. All right, and these old people can get it. These young people can get it. All right, you've done wickedness for 5 years, you can do it. You've done wickedness for 82 years, you can do it. All right, that's just how it goes. It says the Rio Rancho Police Department and Fire Department arrived in the home in April to find Fanel in a hospital bed. Yeah, that's another thing. You're crippled, you can get it. You're of able body, you can get it. It says first responders were there after caretaker Henry Cardona called for emergency services. Cardona told 911 that Fanel was uncontrollable, I feel like you're probably talking in the background, and that they needed to get her out of the home for her own safety. Cardona had been the caretaker for Fanel for several years. Fanel also spoke during the 911 call and said she felt like she was in danger. It says she also said that there were weapons in the home after the dispatcher asked. And this is, I guess, the full. I guess we got to see most of it on video, but it just has the transcription here where it says you're a firearms guy, and the guy said, "Oh yeah." The officer said, "Nice. They're loaded. They're ready to go." Cardona said, "We don't need to see him." The officer said, "There's probably one right there in the case, and I see one over there." The officer continued saying, "I like folks that have guns," since he's a gun owner himself. As the officers began to say their goodbyes to Cardona and Fanel, she begs them to stay in the home. We saw it all, but even right down here, we'll skip a little bit. It says, "What did you say?" Fanel asked. It said, "I said you're fine until I kill you," Cardona said. So right there would have been probable cause enough to go ahead and, remove him out of that situation, but you can't avoid the judgment of the Lord. The Lord wanted that to go out. All right, it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, when you're at. All right, how old you are, how young you are, the color of your skin. It don't matter. All right, if the Lord wants you to get it, you can get it. All right, this is Psalms 37 and 28. We're gonna go over there and get it. It says, "For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off." All right, and these people, they also look to be Edomites, but who knows? All right, who knows? Like, at the end of the day, they could. Who knows what they are? So, but they look to be Edomites. Okay, and they live in New Mexico. There's a chance they could be native. All right, but these people, they're more than likely Edomites. All right, they lived in an Edomite little home. All right, with the Edomite, all their guns, all my guns. That's an Edomite thing. All right. So Psalms 37 and 28 once again. "For the Lord loveth judgment, forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off." So guess what? If you're wicked, you're that's it, man. That's it. Especially if you're an Edomite, you're gonna be cut off. You're not gonna. Man, a lot of you are gonna come to some realizations, man. That and these people, there's a lot of proud people that they think they can't get it. Young pretty women, they think that they can't get it. All right, handsome men, they think they can't get it because they got muscles or whatever. No, that's it. Look, if the Lord's gonna judge you, He's gonna judge you. There's nothing you can do, say. There's nothing. All right, that's why it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of living power. You can't. No one can deliver you from it. No one can save you from it. okay? And these people, you know, she was 82 years old. That's 82 years of just wickedness. And what about a 5-year-old? Well, guess what? You have to understand reincarnation is also biblical. Okay, so that 5-year-old, what about the last life that they're in, where they lived to be 72? 72 years of wickedness plus 5. Okay, so you can't go off of age. All right, the Lord doesn't care about age. He doesn't care about what you look. He doesn't care about your gender. He doesn't care about that shit. All right, those are all worldly concepts. It's a woman. It's a woman. You can't do that. The Lord don't care about that. All right, this is Galatians 6 and 7 through 8. It says, verse 7, be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. And these people, their whole life, have done wickedness. You got to realize the people of the world don't even realize they're doing wickedness. They say, oh, I go to church and I pray to Jesus Christ, you know, and you know, my son, I accept my son, you know, he's with a man, and I accept him because love is love, and I try to be, you know, as open-minded and open-hearted as I can possibly be. You know, and no, you don't realize that if you're like that, that's wickedness. You're worshiping, you know, first of all, you're encouraging an evil act of Moism, all right, and well, no, secondly, that should be secondly, and first of all, you're worshiping a false god, Jesus Christ, a white god, all right, which does not exist, all right, and is not his name, all right. The son's name is Yahushua, not no Jesus Christ, and he's not white, all right. He's a brown-skinned man. Black is people would call him today. All right, but it's not black because asphalt's black. All right, if these people that are being called black are brown. All right, they got it right. Here you are. You could have a dark Mexican, and they'd be called brown. You get a so-called Negro of the same shade, and they'd call them black. They're the same color. What are you talking about? You know, you get a dark Issacharite. All right, they'd call them brown. You get the same shade dark Judite, and they'd call them black. That don't make no sense. Black ain't a race; it's a color. All right, and a color which our people are not. So, you know, these people don't get it. All right, these people, their mind's been destroyed. You know, they're too infatuated with the world. They're too absorbed in the world, and they don't understand anything anymore. All right, they don't got it. So here, this whole time, you know, they think they were doing good, and then these, you know, these women, you know, they go to church. They've been, you know, they left their man. All right, they abandoned their man and got with another man. All right, they do all this wickedness. All right, they worship Jesus Christ. All right, and they do all these different things. And oh, my son, love is love. And they don't realize that that's all wickedness. They don't realize they've been doing wickedness for that long because they don't understand the Bible. They don't understand that something as simple as, you know, being accepting, all right, is wickedness. What do you say? You're not. What's the word they use? They always use one word. Tolerant. You're not being tolerant. We're not supposed to be tolerant. All right, there's certain things you can't be tolerant of. Okay, you can't be tolerant to everything. All right, if there's just some guy that goes around punching everybody in the lip, are you gonna be tolerant to that? No. Why? Because that's not right. All right, and according to the Bible, being a Mo is not right. So you can't be tolerant of that. You can't tolerate something that's wicked. You can't do it. You have to call it out. You gotta say, hey, this is wicked. Don't do it. And if you do it, we can't stop you from doing it. But if you do it, hey, know that the Lord's gonna judge you for that. We're not gonna do shit. We're not gonna do anything. All right, but the Lord will. Okay, it's not our job to do anything. All right, we sit back, you know, follow the will of the Lord to the best of our ability, the laws. All right, and you know, make lessons, watch lessons. All right, and study, and you know, pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And that's our job. Our job isn't to go and to stop you from doing something. We're not going to pull you off of another man and say, no, don't do it. It's a sin. No. If you're going to do it, we're just going to warn you. That's it. And hey, if you do it, that's on you. All right, that is on you. All right, but just know, let's read it again. Galatians 6 and 7 through 8. Be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, or a woman, right, that shall he also reap, or she. Okay. So man is in mankind. So whatever you're sowing, all right, whatever you're planting down in the field, here you are, you got this wicked ass seed, and you're putting it down, a little bit of Moism, all right, a little bit of Jesus Christ, all right, a little bit of drug addiction, all right, a little bit of smoking, a little bit of what else? A little bit of adultery. You're planting all these things, all right, in the field, and then when they grow, now you don't want to harvest them. We know you got to reap what you sow. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. You planted it, all right, you put it out there. Now you have to sow it. And what is the reward for wickedness? Death, punishment, destruction. So you planted it. You were fine all those years, all right, and in your childhood years planting it, in your preteen years planting it, in your teen years planting it, in your young adult years planting it, and in your adult years planting it, in your middle age years planting it. Now you're in your old years, and you finished planting your seed, and now it's time. And it's time to get. The season is coming. It's time for you to reap what you've sown. You don't want it. You've done wickedness your whole life, and now you don't want to reap what you sow. You were just happy doing all the wickedness, but now it's time to reap what you sowed, and nobody wants to do it. Verse 7, be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. And we can go and prove these definitions. What does it mean to sow? If you go and look up the word sow, let's get the definition.
Sow.
It says to plant seed by scattering it on the earth. All right? To plant, to put that into effect. All right? And if you're sowing wickedness, all right, for example, that would mean you're okay with mows, you're okay with drug use, adultery, smoking, you're okay with any sort of wickedness, anything that goes against the laws and the commandments. All right, pork eating, something as simple as pork eating. Yeah, something is even what you would consider to be the smallest sin. It's not a small sin. The Lord said don't do it, you shouldn't do it. All right, but you're a pork eater. Even see that's the other thing. These people say, well, he was always a good person. Well, did you ever? You don't know what a good person is. A good person follows the law. All right. So a person that eats pork, all right, and eats pork and commits adultery is not. Well, adultery, yeah, cheating is bad. Okay. Well, a person that has a son who's a Mo and accepts him and they eat pork, something is that. But he goes to church and he gives to beggars. People are like, oh, he's such a good person. He donates to charity. Oh, I think we all just. God loves the little children. Singing these songs. Oh, he's such a good person, not realizing he's a wicked person. He's allowing, sodomites to just do whatever, and he's supporting it, and also he's breaking a law by eating pork. But this person would be considered a good person according to the world. The world doesn't know what a good person is. If you're not following the laws, you're not a good person. All right, that's how you know what a good person is. That you can trust someone if they follow the law. All right, because they're not going to try to get with your wife. They're not going to steal from you. They're not going to lie to you. All right, they're not going to do any of those things. They're not going to be a drug addict. Okay, so they're inherently trustworthy if they're following the law. So, but these people, they don't understand what wickedness is. They literally don't understand what wickedness is because they don't understand what righteousness is. You can't understand one without knowing what the other is. And they don't understand. They think that they're doing fine. They don't understand what their whole life they've been taught as a child is wickedness. They live in wickedness. They don't even know, think about before you came to the truth. You didn't know it was wicked to eat pork. You didn't know it was wicked to smoke. You didn't know it was wicked to you knew you shouldn't use drugs because they're addictive and they can ruin your life, but you didn't, some people might have known that, but you didn't know something as seemingly small, because it's not small, but is eating a shrimp or one of those canned oysters. You didn't know that nothing was wrong with that. Okay, so these people don't understand that their whole life is wickedness, man. And what they're doing is they're sowing wickedness. So when it's coming time, they're gonna have to reap it. What is reaping? Let's look up reap. What does that mean? It's harvesting, right?
Reap.
To cut or gather a crop, harvest, right? So all this wickedness they've planted throughout their life, when Yahweh Shem Shai deems fit, it's gonna come time where they have to harvest it, and that's the part that they don't like. They don't like the harvest. They like the planting. They don't want to do the harvest. Okay, in verse 8, Galatians 6 and 8 says, for he that soweth to his flesh shall have of the flesh, for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. They don't want that, right? But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. We're trying to sow good things. We've repented. We've turned back. We've converted from our old ways into new ways. We've put off the old man and put on the new, and we're trying to the best of our ability, right? We're not going to be perfect, but we're trying to rehearse the righteous acts, to the best of our ability, to follow the law to the best of our ability, all right, and to be on good terms with the Lord to the best of our ability, all right. But these people, they don't care about the Lord. They don't care what He has to say, all right. And if they do say, "Oh, I'm a God-fearing Christian," well, they're not fearing who they really should be fearing. All right, a lot of them are Edomites anyway. Okay, so you can't avoid the judgment of the Lord. These people don't know what they've been doing is wicked, and then so when this happens, all right, let's get this. Understand judgment. You got to get Proverbs 28 and 5 to further explain it. It says, evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. Evil man can't understand judgment because judgment comes from doing wickedness. And evil men do not understand what they're doing is wickedness. They don't understand that, doing all those things and that mow and that going to church is wickedness. So they don't understand judgment. When they see, an 82-year-old lady getting judged, put to death, getting shot, or they see a 5-year-old, get hit on the side of the street, they don't understand it. They don't understand the judgment because they don't understand the Lord. They don't understand the law. They don't understand that everything that they've been raised up in the society of Babylon or these other countries, because they've had that Babylonian wine there too, flowing through their taps. They don't understand that was judgment of the Lord. They don't understand why would that 5-year-old die? Well, I don't understand, because you don't understand judgment, because you don't understand the law. You don't understand the Bible. You don't understand who Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is. You don't understand that he's a power of judgment, and that he loves judgment, and that if you do these things, you will be put to death. You try to attribute it to other gods. You try to say, oh, it was Satan, or oh, it was this, or it was that. No, it was the Lord that did it. You don't understand judgment because you don't understand the Bible. You don't have the truth. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai hasn't poured his spirit out on you, so you don't understand it. So when we say these things, when we speak these things, we're inherently we're the evil ones. Not knowing, and you don't know that you're putting light for darkness and darkness for light. You're putting bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. All right, as said by the scriptures. You don't understand you're doing that. Okay, you think all the good things are bad things and all the bad things are good things. Your mind's fucked up, so you can't understand judgment. You don't understand the judgment of the Lord. Proverbs 28:5, evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. They that seek the Lord understand all things. Okay, that's why, us as seeking the Lord to the best of our ability, understand these things, because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, through his grace and through his mercy, has poured out his spirit upon us and let us understand these things. We didn't understand anything but back when we were in the world. Remember, we didn't know why it happened. Why are little children dying? That's so sad. We didn't understand. We didn't know. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, we know now. And you should see these things, and you should be fearful, and you should say, wow, I don't want no smoke with the Lord. You should see these things and say, yeah, I better get on my best behavior, because the Lord ain't messing around. All right, but people don't do that. They don't do that. They just go ahead and continue doing wickedness because they don't trust in the Lord. They don't believe anything. They continue doing wickedness, and and then a spirit of vengeance hops on somebody and bam, takes them out. And then guess what? I don't know what happened. Well, all the warning signs were there, but you were too spiritually blind to see what was happening. All right, and again, Salaki for all the talking in the back. This is Ecclesiastes 39:28. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. What is vengeance? Let's stop. Let's go get that definition. What is vengeance? Vengeance. All right, punishment inflicted or retribution exacted for an injury or wrong. So it's punishment that is put in place for retribution, which is what? Retribution is what? Retribution. All right. A punishment. All right. A punishment inflicted on someone as vengeance, punishment inflicted on someone as vengeance for a wrong or criminal act. All right. Vengeance is payback. All right. It's revenge. It's retaliation. Right. You did something wrong, and now it's time to pay the piper. All right. You did something wrong to the Lord. Now the Lord's going to get you back, and you don't want it. And the Lord, the Lord has very, very, very terrible things, man. Really, we got to start up from 25. It says, this is Ecclesiastes 39:25. It says, for the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. It goes on to say, the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil, and clothing. So there are good things created for the good, right? And verse 27, all these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. Now back to the scripture where we were at. I had to get the other ones before we got this. Verse 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. There are spirits that are created for vengeance. What is vengeance? Payback for something wrong, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Who made all the spirits? All right, who made all the spirits? The Father. All right, the Father of spirits, Yahweh. All right, He made these spirits. So who are they appeasing the wrath of? And Salakia for all the talking. They are appeasing the wrath of the Most High. Okay, what does it mean to appease? If you appease someone, what are you doing? If you're appeasing, You're doing what?
Appease.
To pacify or placate someone by acceding to their demands. They're satisfying, fulfilling, all right? They're satisfying and fulfilling and serving, right? The wrath of him that made them, which is who? Yahweh. So when these things go back, when a spirit of vengeance hops on someone and they go shoot into a crowd or they go to a school, and we don't like seeing it, all right? It's sad at the same time, but we understand it, okay? It's sad, but we understand it, okay? So, and people don't understand it. And like it says in verse 29, here's more terrible things created for sinners. Fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance, for destruction, right? Fire, people burning up. All right, hail, look how it messed up Egypt, those huge chunks of hail. All right, famine, people starving to death. All right, and death in general, man. All right, in verse 30, it says, teeth of wild beasts, people getting torn apart by lions. All right, and scorpions, serpents, and the sword. The sword is not only the physical sword, daggers, knives, blades, katanas. All right, bastard swords, claymores, long swords, short swords. All right, but also the modern sword, AR-15s, all right, Smith & Wessons, Glocks, the Blickies, all right, a Drizzy, all right, all those things, all right, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. What's it for? It's for punishing these wicked people, and they don't understand it. They don't understand it as pertaining to Proverbs 28:5. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai being poured out onto us, we search the scriptures, we see these things, you can correlate it, you can understand it if you have Yahweh Shem Yahushai dealing with you. But these people don't. They don't understand why this is happening. How could it happen? How could it happen? Well, the Bible explains how it could happen, but you don't understand. You don't know. You don't understand why it's happening. You're in the dark. All right, you're in the dark. You have no understanding why these people are dying, why these people are burning up, why these wars are going on. All right, you don't understand the prophecies, all right, the future prophecies, the present prophecies, the prophecies that have happened in the past. You don't understand these things because you don't have an understanding, because the Lord has not given you it. You're in the dark. You're blind, okay? Because he's put a spirit of slumber on you. You're blind. You can see but not perceive. You can hear but not comprehend, all right? Roughly paraphrasing, all right, scripture. You can see these things, but you don't understand why they are. You can hear these things, but you can't understand why they are. You don't understand. There's a war in the Middle East. Why? You don't know. You have no idea. Why are all these wars? You don't know. You don't understand. Well, it's people, because no, it's the Lord. It's the Lord doing these things. It's all the Lord. It's all the Lord. It's all the Lord. The Lord is to be feared, people. All right? All these things that you're worrying about, death, destruction, dying, famine, all these terrible things you worry about. All right, it all comes through the Lord. So you should be fearing the Lord. You shouldn't be fearing, death. All right, the only thing that's scary about death is how you go. Death, you go to spiritual realm. That's how it is. The way you die can be very, very, very terrible, or it can be very quick, as pertaining to the Lord. Is he gonna have mercy on you? Are you gonna pass quick? Maybe perhaps even in your sleep? Or is he gonna have you judged and you get stabbed in the neck 72 times and you're still alive because you did some meth at a party earlier and your adrenaline's running, you're squirting blood all over the place, flipping out, and then you get gunned down, bop, 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 and they're kicking you in your face and knocking your teeth out all while you're still conscious. That's judgment. That's judgment. But passing away in your sleep, not necessarily judgment, no. All right, but when you see someone gets whacked in their neck, arterial spray, spraying out all over the place because they got whacked in the neck with a knife, that's judgment. All right, driving down the street and a brick flies out and whacks you in the face through your car, that's judgment. All right, you're trying to get into your garage and the garage flies down and pins you, that's judgment. All right, you're talking shit to your neighbor, and I'm using some real scenarios that we've actually seen, and some I'm just making up. Here's a real one. You're talking shit to your neighbor, oh, you pussy, you pussy. And he goes and pulls a gun out and judges you and your husband right there on the spot, then goes in the house, gets an AR-15 and domes you right in the fucking head. That's judgment. That's judgment, okay? There's in Romans 2:11, for there is no respect of persons with the Most High. He doesn't care if you're big. He doesn't care if you're small. He doesn't care if you're white. He doesn't care if you're so-called black, so-called white, so-called black. He don't care if you're purple, for that matter. Not that there's purple people, but he don't care. He don't care if you're a woman. He don't care if you're a man. He don't care if you're a child. He don't care if you're old. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. There's no respect of persons with the Most High. He doesn't see how men see. It's just a man. Or, it's just a woman. She can't help it. The Lord doesn't see like that. What he sees is an exceedingly wicked person that's done wicked their whole life, and now it's time for them to pay the piper. All right, but men don't see it that way. But Romans 2:11, For there is no respect of persons with the Most High. The Most High is built different. He's different. He's not like men, all right? There's plenty of scriptures, he's not like men who lie. He's not like men in general. Men see according, there's another one. The Lord is, looks not on outward appearance like men do, but he looks on the heart, right? Roughly paraphrasing another scripture. The Lord isn't like men. He thinks in a different way. He moves in a different fashion, all right? He's not like you. So you as a mortal man, you can't understand unless you have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai dealing with you. All right, unless he's poured out the spirit, you're not going to understand what the hell's going on. You're not going to understand scripture. You're not going to understand why people are dying, why people are getting shot down the street, why there's 4-year-olds dying, why there's 80-year-olds dying. You're not going to understand it. But when you get this truth, you understand it. There's no respect of persons with the Most High, pertaining to Romans 2:11. Okay, he doesn't care. All right, go and get the scripture where he, we just got it recently, where he set, he baked a man with a cloth and had a writer's inkhorn. All right, and he was going around, marking men for exemption from judgment. All right, and what was said in that? Don't spare people. Roughly paraphrasing, old and little children. Men and women. It doesn't matter. All right, and he said to begin at his house. Okay, his people. So that shows you, if he's saying begin at my people, he doesn't have respect to persons. If you're doing wrong, you're gonna get paid back, man. If you're doing wrong, you're gonna get paid back. That's why you should fear. You can't avoid the judgment of the Lord. The Lord is someone to be feared. This will probably be the last lesson I'll do for a while on this topic, because that's back-to-back 3 consecutive lessons. But hey, man, the warning's going out, man. The warning is going out. There are people dying. There are people being dead in the process of dying. They're gonna die next week, next month, next year. They don't know. All right, they don't know what's happening because they've been doing wickedness. They've been lying, stealing, and killing, and doing drugs, all right, and witchcraft, and worshiping false gods. And this whole time they thought they were very good people, and they're not. And Lord willing, we're not one of them. Lord willing, we continue in this truth, and we're not perfect, but Lord willing, the Lord has mercy upon us, all right, because we're trying, all right, and we could always try harder, all right, but we're putting in an effort. Regardless, all right, these people of the world are not putting in effort, and the only thing and a lot of us, you got to realize, a lot of us, deserved death, all right, because look at what we did in our past life. The only way we could be saved is through the mercy and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Before we came to this truth, what we were doing, lying, stealing, all right, drugs, worshiping false God. Some people were killing. There are some people who knows that they might be involved in gangs or some bad stuff. Now they're not going to come out and say who they are, obviously, because that'd be a good way to go to jail. But those people, I assume there's at least a couple. There's people in the world that there might have been people in the military that killed people. All right, even so, did very, very terrible things and have repented, and they can be saved through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. And we all did terrible things. Whether it was, I used to smoke weed. Everybody used to smoke weed. That's witchcraft. That's punishable by death. All right, but we're hoping, so we all deserve death. But but the Lord is very merciful. All right, long suffering. So we're hoping, that we're part of the elect. And Lord willing, I myself, as well as you brothers and sisters out there are. That's what we're hoping for. That's our only hope, man. It's through Yahweh Shem Shai. Because without the Lord, we have no chance. But through the Lord, we have a chance. All right. There's a 2 Chronicles 15 and 12 through 13. It says, and they, verse 12, and they entered into a covenant to seek the Lord Yahweh of their fathers with all their heart and with all their soul. Verse 13, that whosoever would not seek the Lord, power of Israel, should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman. Don't matter, man. All right, if you're not seeking the Lord, you're going to be put to death. And we're hoping to make it. We're hoping we're not part of that, Lord, because we're actively seeking the Lord, all right? And we're hoping he has mercy upon us. That's the only thing we can hope for, all right? Because if we don't have the mercy, there's no way we could make it. And you can't avoid the judgment of the Lord, all right? So with that, we're going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. Lord willing, part of the elect, and we make it out of here. Until next one, Lord willing, shalom.